Good morning, everybody. This is AL Thick Madame. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Look, I had no intentions on actually doing the recap review of this show right now, today, in this order, because I had other stuff I was going to do first, and I really was just going to do everything else in the order in which it was going to be that I deemed that I wanted to put it up. But some breaking news happened like 2 hours ago, and that's the only reason why I'm doing it, and I'm trying to get it done before I go into work. So hopefully y'all will enjoy this. Let me go on ahead and get started. So this is the recap for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all, the episode started out with Melody and Martell having a maternity shoot for the baby. This is baby number 4. And they kept on going back and forth between them doing the maternity shoot and them doing their confessionals and making it seem like they are on such better terms and their relationship is in a better place. And child, whatever. Trying to make it seem like, oh well, we're giving each other the passcodes to our phones, and he's checking in, letting me know exactly where he is, and providing the receipts for that. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. In my opinion, I feel like you should not have to do all that if you are in an amazing relationship. You should be able to trust your partner 100% fully for you to not have to be like, okay, let me get the passwords to your accounts, to your phone, to your everything. Like I've just always felt like you should not have to do all that. But it is what it is. I don't feel like that is a great relationship where you feel like you have to constantly check up on somebody to see whether or not they cheating on you. I ain't here for it. Anyway, y'all, Martell's cousin has been doing Melody's hair for forever, and she was actually at the maternity shoot and all that. And so she was like, see, I told y'all weren't gonna get no divorce. And I'm just like, girl. Anyway, Martell is still apparently going to therapy, which is great. Therapy is amazing. I have already mentioned to y'all before that I have been, and it really is amazing. And I hate how there is still this stigma attached to it in the Black community. Even though a lot of Black people have been going nowadays, a lot of people are still like on the fence about it or are dead set against it. And I'm telling you, it will change your life. I don't care nothing about you talking about why should I talk to a stranger. I'm telling you, it works. You need to get it. Go out there, do what you need to do. So anyway, y'all, Melody and her brother are talking, and apparently he's been a teacher for like 20 something years at a high school, and he has now obtained his broker's license for, in the state of Alabama. And, they are really, really close. They have the same father, different mothers, and she came along way after his father's kids were already here or whatever, but she has the closest relationship with him. And he is wondering, if she's going to actually invite their father to the baby shower. They don't seem to have that close of a relationship. And he's like, well, yeah, you should reach out to him and, invite him. And she's saying that she wants him to be there. And in my mind, I'm just like, yeah, I understand that everybody is getting older. But why is it that everybody think that the kids need to be the ones to reach out to the parent, especially when the parent is the one in most cases that don't be doing what they need to do? I hate that. I really hate that. Like, I have a friend right now, her daddy has been trash her entire life, and he has set it off for everybody else's kids and the other kids that came after her. And her mother has passed away, and he lied and made it seem like, oh, I'm gonna be there for you. I know I wasn't there for you before, but I'm gonna always be there for you now. And they did nothing. She has since reached out to him and has taken it upon herself to go and visit him and do all these things with him. And I'm just like, his health is failing, and I feel like he's buttering her up, possibly to ask for some kind of organ or whatever. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But like I said, she has had to take it upon herself to do these things. I don't like that. I feel like the parents should reach out. I feel like, of course, it's a joint effort. Like, the parents reach out, and not just always the parent reaching out or whatever, because that's the relationship I have with my parents. I literally can be in the process of like pressing the button to call my mama, and she'll call me, and it's just, she beat me to it. But I'm always thinking of my parents. I'm always reaching out. I love the fact that they reach out to me as well, which is why I continue to keep my Alabama cell phone number. And I'm not going to get another number that has anything to do with that, because I don't want them to have to pull out their cell phone to call me unless they want to. They could just keep their house phone and call me from the house phone. And I talked to my daddy on his cell phone. Anyway, y'all, I said all that to say, she is trying to reach out to her daddy and invite him to the baby shower. And I'm just like, whatever. Anyway, Martell is at the house with the kids, and they are like kind of doing an activity that's going to be something that will be for the baby. And while he's in the middle of talking to them, he gets like a doorbell ring, and it is Sadaric. And he's there to actually help with getting the baby's room together. And so he's talking to Martell. And of course, it comes up about everything that everybody has been hearing in the blogs. Y'all, even at the very beginning of this episode, they had that disc jockey, the female disc jockey, who interviewed them like last season. And she was like, have y'all heard about what's going on with the Holtz here in the city of Huntsville? I was like, oh my gosh, y'all done went all the way off. But anyway, they were talking, and apparently the woman who is the mistress, everybody knows her because they used to go out to this restaurant, and she worked at said restaurant. So Sadaric was like, yeah, when the news broke that he was cheating, I was shocked, but I was even more so shocked when I found out who it was, because I know her. So I was like, Lord. Anyway, but yeah, it was crazy. And he is gonna sit up there and try to say Martell, talking about, well, I said what I said about her being a peasant because she was being disrespectful to my wife. What we're not going to do is that. And I was just like, but you was out here slanging community penis to said peasant. So, and it kills me because he literally was still wanting to sit up there on the soapbox and try to make it seem like, oh, well, I'd only been with her a few times, and all communication was cut off. There have already been receipts that have said otherwise, that were from her and all this other stuff. Like, he stayed lying. We'll get into all that later on. So anyway, y'all, the whole family all went to this imaging center where they're going to see like a 4D, 5D image of the baby. And Melody's mama is there. They see the baby. The kids are excited. And so Martell ends up going and taking the kids to the bathroom. So she's having a one-on-one with her mama. And she was like, you and Martell look like y'all are in a better place. And so she was like, I am. Everything is fine. Whatever. And I'm just like, girl. Y'all, Melody met up with the planner for the baby shower and the people who were going to be the mobile catering company. And they were discussing everything that they wanted implemented for that day. It's going to be held on a Sunday. And so they're going with this brunch theme. Everybody who has ever seen this show or knows Melody personally knows that she is bougie somewhat or whatever. And, she wants to have things that are considered to be high class. I mean, I guess you could say she's like a Phaedra. She's kind of like Phaedra in a sense, when it comes to certain things like that. And so she wants everything to be elegant and to be upper class. And, I'm like, okay, I get that. Do what you do, whatever. So while she was in the meeting, they were discussing, how they wanted the little food to be and the arrangements, floral arrangements and all that. Kimmi calls and she's talking. And so she was like, well, thank you for calling me. And I just want to know if you were actually going to come to the baby shower. And she said, yeah. So she was like, you and Maurice, which is her husband, And she was like, yeah, we're coming. And so Kimmi was like, well, the whole gang be there. And so she was like, if you mean LaTisha and Marsau, nah. And they ended up going to like the confessional, and she was like, I know she ain't had the audacity to ask me if the hosts gonna be there. I mean, whatever, their names are, whatever. Marsau and LaTisha, whatever. I forgot his last name. But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. So they ain't fooling with each other. The most went down at the little reunion when LaTisha came out of nowhere talking about she heard that Melody was trying to get at her husband. And I'm just like, girl, I don't know if there's any truth to that. I ain't gonna sit up here and try to vouch for nobody, but I was just like, why? Why? Anyway, but she ain't here for it. No, she ain't invited him to no baby shower or nothing else. Like, nah. Don't fool with them, because she was just like, look, I thought we squashed everything, and they came out of nowhere like weeks later or months later and came for her mama. And like she was coming out of nowhere, like sharing tweets that other people put up. The husband was up there doing the most with tweets. And so she was like, look, I ain't got time. I'm done with them. So Martell ended up going to see the psychologist that he's been going to, Dr. Francis. And he was asking, how's everything going with your marriage and with your family? And he's trying to make it seem like everything's going fine. The communication is better and everything's going great. So he, eventually talks to him and wants to know, about the family dynamic and what he thinks might be missing in his life because his father hasn't been there. And, we've already gone over this before in sessions as far as his father not being there. His father has been imprisoned for most of his life. But what we do find out is that there have been times that he's been released from prison for years. He didn't even know his daddy was released, and his dad didn't even take it upon himself to reach out to his son. So it's like, your daddy trifling. But anyway, and it's like, I can't even fault him because he don't even know how to be a father. He's never been there. He's known prison his life. He's just known prison his whole life. So it's like, I can't expect nothing more or anything less, whatever. So in Martell's mind, he feels as though he is not missing anything, and he did not miss out on anything by his father not being in his life. And so the therapist is listening to him. He's just like, I hear you, but I do feel like some things have been missing, because for you to respond to me and say, I wanted to have certain things in my life. I've been able to give these things to my kids, and I hug on my kids. I hold hands with my kids. Everything that I never got, I gave those things to my kids. That lets me know without a shadow of a doubt, you even know subconsciously that you needed a father in your life. So that's why you're going out of your way to do all these things, which ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it makes sense to me. It didn't make sense to him that he essentially was saying, yes, I grew up in a fatherless home. Yeah, I grew up in the hood, and I ain't never seen no father figures. Everybody had kids, but wasn't nobody out here with no good daddy in their life and all this other stuff like what I try to be to my kids. So yeah, y'all. He was just trying to figure out, what he gonna try to do about that situation. I don't know if we're gonna end up trying to do a daddy situation again, but we'll see. Y'all, we are now at the day of the baby shower, and they have instructed everyone to stand outside. Of course, Melody and Martell about to do the most in their life, and they pull up with the whole family in a horse-drawn carriage. And it was cute. It really was. But, they are extra. And Kimmi even said that. She was like, y'all know how I say that Melody is extra? She was being extra in this moment, too. I mean, she do be extra, and it was cute. So, do what you do. Melody even said in her confessional that when she and Martell got married, that when they left, they actually left in a horse and carriage. And this time it was really, really beautiful because they had their kids with them, arriving to another destination, bringing a child into this world. So the baby shower was cute. She had a lot of people there, a lot of family and friends, and you could tell that there was a lot of love, and it was cool. They had this woman named Destiny and her now husband, LeBerick, who we saw last season when they had that couples thing up in the mountains. And he was the one he owns the barbecue business. So they had him to do the prayer, and Destiny actually was the host. She was the hostess for this whole thing. And she and Melody have been apparently building this friendship for years. And Melody considers her to be like some version of herself because they kind of are somewhat alike with the bouginess and whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, as long as y'all are actually good to one another friend wise, I'm here for it. Do what you do. So, y'all, Destiny and Melody are off to the side talking, and of course, she is. No, sorry, I got interrupted. But anyway, of course, she is like thanking her for doing her part for her baby shower, and she actually let her know that she is busted out of her blazer because she herself is 9 weeks pregnant. And so she was like, "Oh my gosh, congratulations!" And they had a little moment, and it was cool. So later on, they show Melody and her kids. Some of the kids were over with her where the baby shower gifts were. And it got to the point where she had to tell the child to go somewhere because she was picking up like it seemed to be like kind of like expensive things. And she might have dropped it. So she was like, you can help mommy later on. So she and Kimmi started talking, and she was like, I see there are a lot of faces here, but I don't see everybody. And so Melody was like, well, everybody that I invited seems to be here. So she was like, yeah, I'm sure. So they had a little conversation, and she went into depth about why they're not there. And she was just like, I ain't got time for the foolishness. I'm done. I'm good. Then while Destiny was having a conversation with her, eventually she and Kimmi needed to have a conversation. So she had a one-on-one with Kimmi and was like, look, so I need to talk to you because I have a bone to pick with you because you tried me and my husband. That's basically how she came at her. She was like, I didn't like something that you said and I need to address it. So last season we saw where they were at the cabin, and she was referring to a comment that was made about Kimmi not knowing them, and all she knows is that her husband makes some good chicken. And I mean, I could see how she felt like it was shade, but it's like, to me, it's 50-50. It's like, in all honesty, she didn't know them, and apparently the food is amazing. So she was complimenting him, but it wasn't, I mean, I get it. But Kimmi was just like in her confessional, like, but I don't know y'all though. I don't understand. You and your feelings, why? Like, she really is like in her feelings for real. So, y'all, Melody said that her daddy didn't come because he said he had prior obligations, and the brother wanted to know because he was there, and so she was like, I understand and all of that, but I really did want him to be there, and I want him to stick to his obligations, but I really want him to be able to be family oriented and, spend time with us as well. Y'all, Martell and Maurice are off to the side talking, and apparently Marsau like tried him, and he ended up sending some receipts because we know Marsau loves talking about some receipts. And so I was laughing because like he really, y'all, I don't care what nobody say. Marsau been out here cheating on LaTisha like day in and day out. Since he probably was screwing somebody the night of them getting married. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. I said what I said. Anyway, y'all, I digress. Martell sent him something. It said, your wife went out here and had a tummy tuck and her boobs or her booty done or something, and you still ain't happy with that. I was like, no, why? Oh my gosh. He was like, you still ain't satisfied with your wife. So I guess he was trying to come at him because he was out here cheating, and we found out about it, but Marsau has just been a little bit slicker, or nobody has cared enough because they weren't at the forefront of this show. It was just the hosts that were out there like that. Y'all. I'm tired, y'all. But anyway, that was the end of the recap. But this is what has happened. This was the breaking news 2-3 hours ago. I watched the impressive show, and yeah, I literally woke up when it was dropping, and this is what was said. I don't know if this was already out or not, but she said it was breaking news. Apparently, Melody filed for divorce from Martell last month, and he was served papers either this week or last week or something like that. She has moved out of the house in Huntsville, and she now resides in Atlanta, Georgia. He does not reside in that house anymore, and they have that house up for sale for $1 million or something like that. And it's like a 6-bedroom like mansion type situation. But yeah, he has since put up something on social media apologizing to the mistress for calling her a peasant, and like a lot of stuff just started coming out. So yeah, that is the update, y'all. That's what's going on. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed my recap review. I will be back later on, probably for Greenleaf. So I'll see y'all later on. Bye.